Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I am your host,
Chuck Manity.
And in today's episode, we are going to be covering Frankenstein 2025. So as usual, what we'll do is give you some interesting information with regards to the cast, crew, anything that we find that could be of interest. We'll watch the trailer and I will give you my thoughts immediately afterwards. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So Frankenstein is a 2025 American Gothic science fiction film written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, based on Mary Shelley's 1818 novel of the same name. It's been done a lot. It has been done a lot. So this is just another iteration of it. And of course, that means that everyone will have their own little spin on it and maybe a little piece that they inject into whatever the case is. So let's have a look and see what this is about. So the premise is a brilliant but egotistical scientist brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. So pretty much the same premise basically, but I do feel it's going to be different. We'll just have a look at the trailer in a second. So for its North American premiere, Frankenstein made it to the special presentations program of the Toronto International Film Festival, where it was screened on September 8th, 2025. It was also presented at the gala presentation at the 30th Busan International Film Festival on September 18th, 2025. Frankenstein had its world premiere in the main competition of the 82nd Venice International Film Festival on August 30th, 2025. It will be followed by a limited theatrical release on October 17th, 2025, and a global release by Netflix on November 7th, 2025. It's a little over a month away to be able to see it. So, as far as cast goes, we have Oscar Isaacs. He's playing Victor Frankenstein. You might remember him from a couple of different movies, Drive and so on. And Moon Knight. So Moon Knight is where I know him the best, I guess, in my sphere. And then also a voice in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. He also did a voice over for that. Then you have Jacob Elordi. Jacob is actually going to be playing the creature. And then he hasn't done really too much. Kissing Booth and Euphoria. I actually don't know him too well though, to be honest. Then we have Mia Goth. Mia Goth is going to be playing Elizabeth Lavenza. That's William's fiance, whom Victor has feelings for. So she's going to be playing that character. She's been in A Cure for Wellness, High Life, Suspiria, Emma. I don't know her too well either, to be honest. But looks like maybe a potential up-and-comer. Then we have Felix Camera. He's going to be playing William Frankenstein. That's Victor's younger brother. And then we have Lars Mikkelsen. So he's going to be playing Captain Anderson, and he's been in The Witcher, House of Cards, and he was Grand Admiral Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka. Then we have Christoph Waltz. Christoph is going to be playing Henrich Harlander. That's Elizabeth's uncle, maternal uncle, and a wealthy arms manufacturer who funds Victor's experiments. Christoph Waltz has been in a lot, but of late, something a little bit more recent, and we've spoken about this not too long ago, is Alita Battle Angel. So yeah, that's a cool movie if you haven't seen it. And then also James Bond, he was also in Spectre. So yeah, and No Time to Die. So he's in actually both of those. Very, very good actor. I like him a lot. Charles Dance, he's been in a lot of different things. Yeah, but he's playing Leopold Frankenstein. That's Victor's father in the show. So, but yeah, he's been in a bunch. Just some of the older stuff. Alien 3, Last Action Hero. That's with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It came out in 1993. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely say give that a watch. Very, very cool movie. Cool premise. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger coming out of the school, there's a kid watching him as an action movie, and then the sort of worlds amalgamate, and that kid gets himself involved in the world of action with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is really, really cool. And then last but not least, we have David Bradley, and David's going to be playing a blind man. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but sure. I mean, everyone should know him from Harry Potter. That's the main one. Game of Thrones, sure. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but I think for me, his most popular one that I know him from is definitely Harry Potter. So, yeah, he was Argus Filch, or Mr. Filch, so the guy who looked after the premises at Hogwarts. And then he actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he played a character in Hot Fuzz, Arthur or something to that effect. Yeah, and he's basically, he reminds me of that guy from Clarkson's Farm, who speaks but you can't really understand a word he's saying. So he's that guy, and he's got this old bomb from back in the day that kind of works, but it doesn't work, but everyone's worried that it's gonna work. But yeah, no, it's a fun movie, Hot Fuzz. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check that out. But yeah, that's some basic info about the characters and the actors, etc. But let's have a look at the trailer, and then I will give you my thoughts afterwards. Here's the trailer for Frankenstein 2025.
My maker told his tale, and I will tell you mine. I remember pieces, memories of different men. And I saw it, your name. Victor Frankenstein.
And that was the trailer for Frankenstein 2025. So, I mean, obviously the premise sticking quite similar to the original, obviously. And a modern spin on it, of course, like it's based in what looks like sort of medieval times or Victorian times and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's the first thing. The look of it, lots of reds, dark grays, blacks. So yeah, it does have an eerie feel to it, absolutely. You get a glimpse of the creature. You get a slight glimpse of him towards the end of it. He looks relative. I thought it'd be a little bit more pieced together, but it looks like he's got this sort of ruggedy clothes on cloak thingy, or whatever the case is. Seems to be very powerful. I mean, pushing a boat that the boat can almost turn over. The one that was on the ice at the end, if you saw that. Yeah, basically pushing a boat. Clearly can take gunfire. Busy walking towards what looks like, I suppose, the King's Guard in some shape or form. Or some soldiers. And they are letting rip and shooting at him. And nothing is really happening except he's just kind of turning, like where the bullets hit, obviously from the recoil. And yeah, so and then there's also some what looks like some spiritual type aspect to it. You see some sort of demon. I don't know if that's just sort of a look for, maybe a piece that's some symbolic piece, and if I don't even know if that character's actually in the movie itself. So if that is the case, then they're obviously going a little bit further as far as like the symbolism and that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, but all in all, Oscar Isaac's good actor. Good actor. If, Moon Knight wasn't the best showing in Marvel, to be honest. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it definitely wasn't, the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. But he was really good in it, considering. It's fun to see David Bradley with a big beard on, so that's fun to see him. Looks completely different. You had to look twice. Yeah, but you can see he's the blind guy, like they said. So yeah, it's and that's basically what I can think of at the top of my head, like as far as what I've seen and so on. The story looks like it could, I mean, it's going to obviously stick true to it. You can see there's definitely some stuff that's been added as far as the story goes. And I do hope, the one thing that is concerning me is I do hope there's not going to be that typical monster love story stuff. I really hope they shy away from that and keep this to be a little bit more of an aggressive, action-packed sort of Frankenstein, because I'm kind of over the trope of the monster falling in love kind of stuff, like with Twilight or Beauty and the Beast, or there's a lot of movies, like there's some sort of movies with like zombies, and then the girls fall in love with like this sort of zombie guy, and whatever the case is. So I really hope it doesn't try that, because I don't know, it's tired for me. Like I want to see something a little bit, back to roots stuff, where it's basically it's action packed, there's sci-fi, it's a good story, that kind of vibe. Obviously with Victor being like a human, that's fine. Like, I mean, if there's some sort of love story there or whatever, cool. But as far as the creature goes, I want him to be a force of nature. I want him to be, something that Victor created, that then I have to try and figure out how to, fight, because he's created this monster, and they come together, and now they have to, obviously, he has to basically fight his own creation, basically. He created this thing, but now has to go against it because it's, you know, not exactly a good person or good thing. I mean, there's been tons of different iterations of Frankenstein, but I kind of hope they lean towards that and not too much of the love story or at all with the creature. Like, I really hope they just shy away from that. It would be a lot of fun to watch, like just straight up sort of horror vibes and action and sci-fi and just proper like mayhem. I did enjoy that scene with the boat. That's with him pushing the boat and then sort of going towards the soldiers and stuff, and not really, because he's not really human. He's a force of nature, and I hope they kind of really lean towards that. I think that would be cool if they do. But it's not too long till we see it. November 7th, just around the corner. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this trailer today. It would be fun to get your guys' thoughts on that. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do pop that in the comments below, as well as showing us some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.